Welcome back to Mud Lake Ranch. Tonight we're here to talk to you about pull-through bore cleaners known as gun snakes. The one in my hand right now is a typical imported gun snake. It has a handle and one section of embedded bore brush, and that's the only section that's actually fits the diameter of your bore, as opposed to the Otis Ripcord, which you'll see here. It's the only one made in the United States. It has a helical shaped rubber core that follows the lands or grooves of your rifling and is coated with a braided Nomex that is heat resistant up to 750 degrees Fahrenheit and will not melt in your bore. Competitive products to Ripcord make no such claims on their website because they are made of nylon and melt at much lower temperatures. Ripcord also has a memory flex cable at its core, meaning that you do not have to use gravity to feed it into your barrel. Also, it has a pull strength of 700 pounds, meaning Ripcord will not break. Growing up, I was obsessed with gun snake products that I saw in catalogs and on the shelves of sporting goods stores, and I had them on my Christmas list every year, and actually never got any. But when I finally got to a adult age and was able to acquire my own, I got to explore different options of gun snakes, and was glad that I didn't settle for the original brands on the market. They are generally inferior, disappointing that they're 100% made in foreign countries, and they aren't as effective at cleaning firearms. As you'll see right here, Ripcord has a considerable advantage in that the length of the surface that actually contacts your barrel is much larger than the area that contacts the barrel in a gun snake type product that has the embedded bore brush. And some competitive shooters actually prefer not to clean their bores with a brush. I'll leave an example in a video below from 22 Plinkster, who claims that he never uses bore brushes unless he is losing accuracy. Gun snakes either have a loop at the end of the rope, or they have a handle that fits into the top of their case. Ripcord has a detachable handle that can be used, or I prefer just to wrap it around my hand. But the detachable handle is nice if you have more tender fingers or not as strong of a grip. One of the distinct advantages of gun snakes or Ripcord is that you're able to clean the bore of your gun without disassembling the firearm. Simply insert the end through the barrel. Ripcord does not require gravity to feed it into the barrel, whereas other gun snakes with their shoelace type material have to use gravity to feed down through the barrel. And as you'll see here, the only section of this gun snake here, which is an Amazon example, that actually contacts the bore is or fully contacts the bore is the section with the bore brush built in. Ripcord, on the other hand, has multiple inches of helical shaped rubber cord that is the exact size of the bore of your barrel. So all of them are caliber specific, and they do contact the bore 360 degrees and follow the lands and grooves of the rifling. Although typical gun snakes do have a bore brush built in and Ripcord does not, other gun snakes do not have the ability to have threaded ends, whereas Ripcord has 8/32 threads on both ends of the cord, allowing you to add a bore brush, a bore mop, or even a slotted tip with a patch and solvent so that you can clean following the Ripcord through the barrel for a more thorough clean. Reasons you might want to add a patch with solvent or a bore brush or a mop for a more thorough clean: you don't have to add solvent to Ripcord to get a more aggressive clean on your barrel. This will add to the longevity of your gun snake, regardless of if it is Ripcord or a competitive product to Ripcord, and that you're not filthying them up. They can be cleaned. I'll demonstrate that at the end of this video. Much easier to do if you haven't had solvents bathing them. With a gun snake, you can clean them in a bucket of soapy water, or if you haven't put solvent on them, you can clean them, in the case of Ripcord, with a AP brush. Here I'm demonstrating how you can add a slotted tip to the 8/32 thread, and you can tie on a patch that has been saturated with a CLP or solvent of your choice. And in this case, we're using a slotted tip with the Otis proprietary patch. Link to description on how to tie that will be in the video description below. You pinch the patch at the appropriate pinch position. You'll apply the CLP or solvent at the base of the patch, the leading edges that pass through the barrel. You'll get a 360-degree clean of the bore, but it's not entirely necessary. Ripcord does a fantastic job cleaning the bore of your firearm, especially if you clean it while it is still hot, which is one of the leading advantages of using the Ripcord product. Not only will it not melt, but it will also remove the carbon and fouling deposits before they've had a chance to harden. A good example of this is when you're like cooking eggs and they have a chance to cool and adhere to a nonstick pan. They're stubborn to remove. If you clean them while they're still hot, you have a big advantage over cleaning while they cooled. Here's an example of the larger Ripcords in the 12 gauge size. As you can see, it has large rubber orbs that follow the bore of the 12 gauge. When you're done using the Ripcord product, just simply use an AP brush to brush away any fouling and debris from the Ripcord if you used it dry. If not, you'll have to clean it in a bucket of soapy water. It is not recommended to clean any type of gun snake in a dishwasher or washing machine because lead deposits could get into your clothing or onto dishes that you are going to be using to eat. If you found this video useful, helpful, or interesting, please hit that thumbs up and subscribe. If you have any questions relating to gun snake type products, leave them in the comments below. Thank you for watching. I'm Jared, and this is Mud Lake Ranch.